good. Excellent. I think we learned a lot today.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Tell our people, come and pass the word and vote next Tuesday. Hello, welcome again to our conversation with HEATH MELLO. And today we've been asking several questions, and indeed we have had different answers, and we have some more questions, Mario. Certainly we have given him so many questions. I think Mr. MELLO will take the biggest amount of questions ever given to you on a show.
We have to take advantage of that he's here. And
absolutely.
At the same time, we have invited all the leaders. I mean, not only Democrats or Republicans, they're welcome to come to our shows.
Absolutely.
We are wide open. We are completely, or at least I am completely independent, and we will be fair with anyone that shows to our program. Now, just maybe a few hours ago, something happened in Congress, specifically the House of Representatives. They just voted to repeal the Affordable Care. I mean, it's amazing. Let me put it this way. The universal health care is basically everywhere, Northern European countries, Canada, Japan, and everybody except the United States, because basically it's on its way out. What do you think about it? Why do you think it's happening? What is the main thing do you think the Republican Party, even though 55% of the Americans are for it, they want to repeal this, something that might be perhaps improve rather than being repealed?
You know, it's been a tough issue to swallow today in light of my work in the legislature trying to expand access to health care to not just Latino families in South Omaha, but working families across South Omaha, across the state of Nebraska. And to hear that so much good work that was done for years to make sure that if anyone had a pre-existing condition that they would not be denied health insurance, to try to expand just the affordability of individuals to get health insurance when they couldn't get it before, to make sure that people had those basic benefits, those basic coverage available to them. It's a bit concerning, obviously, with what happened recently with the repeal of the Affordable Care Act. And I think any one of us my mother has a pre-existing condition, and I think even what we heard today, that individuals, women who may have been raped before or have had a pregnancy before now are considered to now fall under this pre-existing condition category. And that's just, for me, that's shameful, that now people are going to be put in a position where them being able to get access to affordable health care is going to be that much more difficult purely for political reasons. And I think that for me has always been the concern, is that people have acknowledged that, and I've acknowledged that the Affordable Care Act can always be improved. There's ways to reform it to make it work better for everyday people and for small business owners. But instead of fixing it, they decided to repeal it. And I'm just afraid that too many good, hardworking people across not just South Omaha, but across our city are going to lose valuable health care coverage and are going to end up having to pay more in the process. And I think that's not good, not just for the city, but that's not good for our state or country either.
Yeah, any questions?
Yeah, well, but when it comes to health issues, it's always a main concern. I think it is important to say that here in South Omaha that we have different health care providers that are trying to serve the community the best they can. And Latino families are hard worker families too. They like to work hard and certainly contribute to whatever they have to contribute. So what would you say when it comes to the need among the Latino community right now in regards to having more access to information? There appears to be a gap between I would say the language barrier appears to be a problem. We have neighborhoods where the neighborhoods associations are not reaching out to the Latino community because they are afraid of them. The Latino community, they want to be engaged, they want to participate, but they are afraid now with the new policies in place. So what would you say, what would you suggest?
You know, that's a terrific question in the sense of some challenges, I think, in South Omaha particularly, that I think we have to come together as a community to try to solve and work on. And I announced in the middle of my campaign an initiative that if I'm elected mayor, that I will help lead, called the Welcoming Omaha Initiative. That is, mayor, that we will make sure all of our city departments are at the table working with the immigrant and refugee communities across our city to make sure that we're finding ways to make sure their voices are being heard and that they're integrated into the civic life of our city, that they're provided that information, not just in regards to being able to go to neighborhood associations and learn more what's happening in their neighborhood, but also in regards to just knowing their rights as whether they're renting an apartment or whether they're buying a home, to make sure that they know their legal rights in regards to working with a landlord, of their rights working with our public schools, their interaction with our police department. I mean, those basic things that sometimes we take for granted in our day in, day out lives of how our relationship is with City Hall and with different city departments, that I'm just convinced having a mayor who values that welcoming nature, making sure that regardless of where you come from, regardless of what language you speak, that you are welcomed inside our City Hall, that we're going to do everything we can to connect you with people in our community, because I believe that that strength really is shown in our city when we embrace the diversity and help provide that information and make sure that we're all educating each other in regards to developing a greater sense of community, both with each other and with the City Hall.
Well, that's very important.
Yeah.
That's very good.
There's something else. We know that politicians, whenever they need votes, and they usually come to South Omaha a week or 2 weeks. They like to eat little tacos here and so on. And, you know, but once they do that, they disappear until the next election. And it's been happening. What can Latinos do about that?
Well, I think for me at least, and I'll let anyone else answer this question also. I think the difference in my particular race is I'm someone from South Omaha. I live in South Omaha. I'm raising my two little babies here in South Omaha. We spend our money here. We visit our businesses. We use the parks. We use the libraries. I think having someone who authentically believes in our community and is going to be with our community after the election, I think speaks volumes. And I think that's a unique opportunity for South Omaha and for the Latino community to realize that there is someone who not just advocates for issues, but really wants to advocate for the community to make sure that they have a seat at the decision-making table in the mayor's office on issues moving forward.
That's pretty important. And I think I have to comment based on your question. In the last couple of years or last some years, there's a couple of organizations, non-profit organizations, helping educating our people. But of course, we know that although there's a huge effort, door by door in some cases, the whole system is new for us. I mean, we can learn the language, but the whole voting system is a whole new factor. Entities like Harlem Worker Center, Latino Center of the Midlands, and some other ones have been educating our people in how to vote. The Latino vote has increased several percent in the last 2-3 elections. But still, there's long ways to do it. There's some people that we talk even today that they don't even realize if they are registered to vote or not. They say, well, I'd like to vote, but I don't know if I'm registered or not. What could the city of Omaha in the future do to help either the target market, the voters, or nonprofits to channel that information and to give them access to voting, to be heard?
I think the city can do a number of things, from advocating for opening polling locations around the city, as I've been a big believer of satellite voting and having a place in South Omaha where people can come and cast their ballot all together. It's kind of a community event instead of having to go drive 40 or 50, even some extent 115th in Dodge for us right here in South Omaha. That's almost 100 blocks we've got to drive to go vote our ballot early. And so I think having satellite voting locations is a great opportunity for us as a community, working with nonprofits, working with public sector partners in City Hall, to really try to encourage people to vote and to vote as a community, and really to help vote for their family and get everyone engaged to do that.
Very good.
Perfect.
Well,
welcome.
we're almost time, right? But yeah, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I like to really, in the name of the Expresión Latina, that's our program that we've been doing this for the past 8 years or so. Well, we wish you the best.
Thank you.
And come back.
Absolutely. Would love to come back. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
With that, we'd like to say good night until next time.